Hi, Steph. Good morning. All right, here's where we begin in news. The country's vaccine plans. They have hit a roadblock. Canada's National Advisory Council on Immunization now recommending the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine be paused for adults under 55.
We are taking this precautionary measure while Health Canada, as the regulator, completes its updated risk-benefit analysis based on emerging data.
Health Canada has demanded a detailed study from AstraZeneca, and it comes after new data from Europe saying the risk of blood clots is higher than originally thought at about 1 in 1,000. That's opposed to the 1 in 1,000,000 risks that was suggested before. But for the older population, experts saying the benefits still outweigh the risks.
The risk seems to be higher in the younger population, so we're pausing it there. However, in terms of the overall effectiveness in preventing complications and death, and in particular for those 80 years and older and the frailer ones, we see that it actually is working pretty well.
Health officials now looking at whether people who received a first dose of the AstraZeneca shot should get a different vaccine for their second. So far, there have been no reports of blood clots in Canada. And this comes as 1.5 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccines are expected to arrive from the U.S. today. It's going to be up to the provinces to decide how to use that vaccine on adults 55 and older.
I won't hesitate to cancel that in half a heartbeat if it's going to put anyone in harm.
Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. David Williams, is saying the province will be following the recommendations while it waits for more information. Meanwhile, happening at 11:30 this morning, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to address the situation alongside the federal procurement minister, Canada's top doctor, and the Deputy Public Chief Health Officer of Canada. You can watch all of that live on our website. We'll stream that at citynews.ca. So new data from a panel of experts warning this pandemic is out of control in the province. Ontario's COVID-19 science advisory table says hospitalizations are 20% higher than what we saw in the second wave. Variants, they are posing a major threat, with the latest strains of the virus accounting for nearly 70% of all infections. Officials say the best way to slow cases down is with another widespread lockdown. And while Ontario deals with rising COVID cases, officials south of the border are fearful a resurgence of the virus will sweep the U.S.
I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom. We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now, I'm scared.
Hospitalizations and virus-related deaths have started to climb in the U.S., and President Joe Biden continues to forge ahead with vaccination plans, saying 90% of Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine by April 19th. He hopes to vaccinate 200 million people in the U.S. by his 100th day in office, which is on April the 30th. Meantime, officials say hospitals are at risk of being overwhelmed by this latest wave. The president of the Ontario Hospital Association saying this province could face a new surge in patient transfers in weeks ahead. On Monday, Orange Air Ambulance said between January the 1st and March 25th, at least 600 patients were transferred to help ease capacity in local hospitals. Coming up just after 7 o'clock, I'll be speaking with the CEO of Mackenzie Health about the third wave's current impact on hospitals here at home. Let's get to the U.S. now. A hate crime investigation underway in New York after a horrific video showing an attack on a woman of Asian descent receiving widespread circulation online, and we will warn you that the footage you're about to see is graphic. So this is video released by police. A man kicking a 65-year-old woman to the ground before stomping on her several times. We're not going to show that part of the video. This is the suspect that investigators are looking for. He reportedly made anti-Asian statements while attacking her. This happened late Monday morning in broad daylight. The NYPD Asian Hate Crimes Task Force also condemning the security guard, saying in part on Twitter, he not only failed to render aid, he closed the door on the victim. Time now is 6:08. It is back to business on Egypt's Suez Canal after a giant container ship stuck in the waterway disrupted global trade for nearly a week. All right, so there's the ship. All 400 meters finally freely traveling through the canal. Crews worked day and night to free this vessel, while some 400 ships on either side waiting to pass through. It's going to take approximately 3 days to clear all of that backlog. It's being described as one of the worst shipping accidents in history, halting billions of dollars in commerce per day. And we're going to talk to Mike Eppel about that coming up in just a bit. Also next in business news, we have some good news for renters and not so good news if you're a landlord, why rents continue to drop in the GTA.